It is my honor to introduce our speaker today, C.J. Kelly. I had the pleasure of meeting C.J. as a freshman, and I knew three things when I met him for the first time. I knew he liked to play hockey, play video games, and that he liked math. His dad told me that. I also figured out rather quickly that he knew three words: yes, no, and However, from that somewhat sketchy beginning, I've really had the pleasure of watching CJ embrace what Episcopal Academy has to offer and really expand his academic, social, and athletic circles in ways that I would have thought unimaginable at that time. He's become, of all things, a bit of a history nerd, which we never would have guessed with his STEM background. And he's really risen to become a leader not only of his class but of the hockey team, and has done a tremendous job captaining that squad, which is playing today, throughout the course of the year. So I'm very excited to hear what CJ has to say. I'm sure we can all take something inspirational from his words. So please rise to greet CJ Kelly.
Please be seated. I want to thank Mr. Shu for the wonderful introduction, and Father Tim, along with the vestry, for allowing me to speak today. A lot of you may know what I look like on the outside. I'm the captain of the ice hockey team, I play lacrosse, and I'm a funny, likable guy. But what many of you might not know is that a year and a half ago, I was diagnosed with depression. It all started during the summer before my junior year, when I decided that I wanted to relax and not be stuck doing camps that would prohibit me from hanging out with friends. I had all the time in the world to do so, but unlike myself, my friends were busy most of the time with their camps and summer jobs. I got to spend time with them every once in a while, but not as often as I wanted to. With all these days that I wasn't spending time with friends, I soon became terribly unproductive. I would stay up until 4 in the morning and wake up at 5 in the afternoon, practically wasting my summer. All over social media, I saw people, some of them being my friends, going out and having fun with their other friends constantly, which caused incredible self-loathing. I felt that it was my fault that I wasn't being invited to these events and that there was something wrong with me. This feeling led me to believe that my presence wasn't wanted by others and I was a burden to those around me. I wondered what the world would be like without me, and whether it would be better if I wasn't there to bother anyone. All in all, I wasn't the person that I wanted to be, and I wasn't happy with myself. In early August of that summer, I had a doctor's appointment, and after my father had left the room, the doctor asked me if there was anything bothering me. And I had an instant urge to tell her what had been going on. I told her that I was feeling very melancholy, described to her how I spent my days doing nothing, and felt bad about how I was feeling. The doctor told me that I probably had some sort of depression and asked to call my mother about it. I agreed, but once I left the doctor's office, I felt like it was a mistake. I was scared about what my parents would think about it, and I just wanted to forget that I ever told the doctor. Later that night, my mother walked into my room, and I told her about how I was feeling. But at that point, I had no clue why I was feeling this or what to do about it. My mother suggested that I see a psychiatrist who was a family friend. That way it would be easier to talk to a familiar face, and I agreed. I visited the psychiatrist, and with his help, I analyzed the thoughts that I was thinking and the emotions that I was feeling to find the root of my problem. I started to try to do more things to distract myself from feeling self-conscious, and once school started, I was too busy to feel unproductive. I picked up meditation to slow down and be with myself when I felt anxious or tense. And I gradually started to open myself up when I had days that I was self-loathing, and I told my close friends from my old school, who I knew wouldn't judge me any differently. But I was still scared to go into full detail. Flash forward to now, I have told many of my friends, and now I'm telling the whole school about these problems that I've faced and how I got through them. But I'm not speaking to you all just to make myself feel better that I've fully opened up. Because when I encountered my depression, I was scared and alone. I was scared that people would judge me differently for being depressed, so I shut it away and kept a fake smile on my face for others to see, including my parents. I had no idea how to fix it, and all I wanted was for it all to fade away and for me to feel good about myself again. But because I had no direction, I doubted that I would get any better, and I was hopeless. The point when I started to open myself up to people about my issues is when things started to get better. Everyone that I talked to about my depression was incredibly supportive and tried their hardest to cheer me up or help in any way. The warming encouragement of my parents, psychiatrists, and friends proved my fear wrong. Every new person that I spoke to about this issue treated me with kindness and was anything but judgmental. And more importantly, they gave me hope. A lesson that I wish I had known earlier is that your family, teachers, counselors, and friends just want the best for you, and they will not treat you any differently for having mental health issues. If I had known, I wouldn't have hidden my true feelings for so long, thinking that it would be a burden on the people around me. Mental health is an important issue that plagues people everywhere, especially around our age. Yet, there is no easy cure to this issue. Unlike injuries or physical illnesses, mental illnesses cannot be cured through surgery or antibiotics. Every person's condition varies, and there is no set path to follow to become healthy again. So don't be scared like I was to talk about your feelings. It is totally natural to feel uncomfortable with who you are as a person, but keeping your doubts and insecurities inside you can break you down. Bottling up and not telling anyone if you feel awful can lead to things getting worse and the possibility of a tragedy. If you have any concerns or need a person to talk to, you can go to your form dean, a trusted teacher, Mr. Letts, Father Gavin, the school psychologist, Dr. Chaikin, a good friend, or even me, because I know exactly what it's like to have mental health struggles and can try to help to the best of my ability. Please open up and let others give you hope. In silence, let us reflect on what we've just heard.